I've made another free pattern for you. This time is the holiday tie top, which is a blouse or top that closes in the front with 2 ties. It got long sleeves and is very easy to make. You can sew this top in a wide range of materials, but I have chosen linen because I have this huge roll of linen and I think it will look really, really nice. You will find the link to the pattern in the description. You can print it in either A4 or US letter. The pattern itself consists of 18 pages and it's numbered 1 to 18 and each row has 6 papers in it. Cut all pieces with 1 centimeter seam allowance. You will need to cut out 1 back piece, 2 front pieces, 2 sleeves, 4 ties, a back facing that should be interfaced, and 2 front facings that also should be interfaced. Take your back piece and your front pieces and place them right sides together and pin and sew the shoulder seams. Then take your front facings and your back facing, place them right sides together and sew the shoulder seams on those as well. Sew with 1 centimeter seam allowance. Overlock or zigzag the raw edges. Press the seam allowance towards the back. On the facing piece, press them to the front. Overlock the outer edge of the facing piece. Make the ties by folding and pressing the piece lengthwise. Fold in the edges and press again. In one end of each tie, tuck the raw edge in like this and press. Sew close to the open edge and then end with closing this side too. Place the ties on the right side according to the markings. I secure the ties with a few stitches. I will now pin and sew the facing to the bodice along the neck. The ties will be sandwiched between the layers. You can pin the ties so they keep out of the way and also in the correct position. Now I will cut into the curves, and I'm very careful not to cut the actual seam, only the seam allowance. So, as you might have guessed, I will understitch the seam as much as possible. So over here it might be a bit tricky. So then I'll just understitch where I can and leave the rest. And when I understitch, I fold the seam allowance towards the facing and I sew close to the edge on the facing side. This is so everything will lie nicely when you fold it later. And while I sew, I make sure that the seam allowance is folded to the facing side. Now I'm going to press the seam so it will lay nicely, and when I've pressed it I will also sew a few stitches in the ditch to keep the facing in place. Overlock or zigzag the sleeve hem. Fold the sleeve hem upwards 1 cm and press, then fold another 1 cm and press again. This is the right sleeve, this is the left sleeve. I see that by looking at where the front notches are. So what I'll do now is I'll just place a pin at the notch, and it's about 10 centimeters. This is not very exact. And I'll measure about 10 centimeters on the other side too, and place another pin. And from this pin to this pin, I will sew 2 rows of gathering stitches. The idea of the gathering stitches is not to make like ruffles. You just want it to gather up slightly so it's easier to insert the sleeve. Nothing more. We don't want any gathers in the final result. This is just to help us. I placed the bodice with the right side up, so I have the front pieces closest to me. And now I want to insert the sleeves. So what I'll do is I make sure they're correctly placed. Here I have the front notch, so I know this is the front of the sleeve. And I have the shoulder notch. So the shoulder notch is supposed to match the shoulder seam. So I could just pin this to the bodice, but I will have a little extra fabric in the sleeve cap. So what I'll do to make things easier is pull a little on the gathering stitches just to make it a little bit smaller and a little more sleeve shaped. And I pull on the bobbin thread. It doesn't need much, just a little bit. So I place these right sides together, and I like to start with pinning the shoulder point and then the side. So now I will just ease in the fabric. I will sew the seam with 1 cm seam allowance, and then I will overlock it. I will just quickly remove the gathering stitches before I overlock the seam allowance. We're almost done now. It's already time to join the side seams and the sleeve seam. So what I'll do, I'll just place them right sides together. It's a lot easier if you have tied the ties together. You just place them right sides together, pin the sleeve and side seam, sew it, overlock it. I will prepare the hem by overlocking it. Press the hem 2 centimeters towards the wrong side. Place the facing towards the right side, like so, right sides together. Pin it and sew with 2 centimeter seam allowance. Now it's prepared and I don't even need to pin this. I will just sew from the right side with 1.5 centimeter seam allowance. The sleeves are prepared now as well, so I'll just fold this part. And I think it's easier to sew from the inside for the sleeves, so I will sew close to the edge from the inside. Give the top a final press and we're done.
Fresh like the morning, mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright, so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light, no. Give me a beat and I control it like a maestro. Ladies on a mission, they be trying to get me wiped up. Shawty, wait a minute, can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender.
Next time I will sew the matching shorts and I will share the pattern with you so you can sew them too.
Keep coming with it.